Well, welcome in everybody. I appreciate you guys being here. We'll give a minute for people to stroll in here. Our live event with No Coast Turf. Welcome into everybody that's here. So we have Joey here from No Coast Turf that we'll bring in a minute. And I just wanted to give a quick little introduction and welcome everybody in. And we'll bring Joey in, like I said, here in a second. We also have Bill from Quest, which is related to No Coast Turf. If we can get him in, we're having a little technical difficulties. If we can make that happen during that, we'll get that taken care of. But with that, I will bring in Joey here. Welcome in, Joey. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being here, and I think that we'll have a good live event talking about No Coast Turf and um, everything that you got going on. And it's going to be I know you got a good reputation in the lawn community, so everybody likes dark green grass. I haven't met somebody that doesn't like that
Yeah.
yet. So I think that's what your stuff does. So if you just want to kind of introduce yourself a little bit and give a little background on yourself and the industry and how you came to start the company, that'd be great.
Sure. I think I started kind of like everyone else here. You strive to have the best lawn on the block, and I really don't have the agronomy background like a lot of people. I have a computer software background, and I happen to have Quest Products, who's down the street from me, where most of my products come from. And I I started, I think, like everyone else. You struggle on your lawn, you get on YouTube, you start searching for ways to make your lawn better. I started joining some local kind of lawn care nut groups. We have one called I'm in the Kansas City area. We have one called the Kansas City Lawn Care Nuts. And I got in there, and they had this person they got products from. It was like a super kind of secret for a while. Ended up being Quest Products, and I was able to drive down the highway and pick up some of the products. And I started with like the Main Event dry iron, and put it on my lawn and got a dark green. And then you mentioned Bill with Quest, who's having some technical difficulties right now, but we're going to try to get him on here. He's like, if you want your lawn really dark green, he's like, add some manganese to it. He's like, you get that blue green from that. So then I started using the manganese, and then sure enough, it turned like a dark blue green, and I was like, this is awesome. And
Right.
then you just kind of dig in, you do your research, you figure out what you like and what you don't like. And then a few years ago, kind of opportunity popped up. I was, I think, kind of where you are, where people are saying, "Hey, you have a nice lawn. Can you give me some input?" And I was thinking about starting a website to essentially do turf consulting. I wasn't really interested in mowing people's lawns. I wasn't really interested in actually doing the applications, although I was working on getting my applicator's license, and ended up saying, okay, I'm just going to do an e-commerce website. And I went and talked to Bill and said, hey, I'd like to sell your product online. Are you okay with that? And Bill's like, you want to be a partner? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, congratulations, you're a partner. I said, okay. So I started buying his products in bulk, and then selling online. I started there with just the iron. I worked and got the manganese going, and then since then we've added molasses and soil fusion and some humic products, and that just continues to grow. And I guess a little bit more about me. I said I come from the software side of things. I started out 20 years ago building websites, and then got into the social media marketing and also like website SEO. So I had kind of the building blocks to build a website and have it be successful. And I'm still in the software industry. By day and by night, I have no coast turf.com.
Awesome. That's awesome for sure. And that software background probably helped you build your website
Yeah,
pretty well
it
too.
did. Yep.
So save some money there.
Yeah.
Because I imagine that's not cheap. But yeah, that's an awesome little backstory. I mean, I didn't know that either. So I always love the backstories of how companies come together and form. So how many years have you been? I know I discovered you last year. How long have you been doing this?
So No Coast has been around since like summer 2021.
Okay.
I'm sure almost everyone here is familiar with Oli Pool, and he had
Yeah.
posted on one of the Facebook groups, the Fescue Freaks, that hey, does anyone know where I could get this product? And I'd had a few cocktails that night, and I was like, I could get it for you. And this was still, I am on my way to building the turf consulting website. And he was like, he's like, you sell it online? I thought he just wanted it. I was like, I'll send you some bags. And he's like, no, he's like, I'm looking for places. There's people that want it. And I was like, well, I could have a website going by Monday. This was on a Friday, I think. So I had like 3 nights to build my e-commerce website. So I hammered it out and got it done, got it launched on Monday, and he started promoting it from there. That's kind of how it got started, really.
That's awesome. No, that's awesome for sure. I didn't know that either. So
Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, I see somebody had mentioned the cell phone too close to their mic. I know what I don't know if that's Bill trying to get on. Like I said, we had Bill trying to get on. He's still trying to get on here. So
I'll throw mine.
that might be able to
throw mine across the room here.
from that. So we'll try to get that taken care of.
Yeah, I'm hearing a little bit of that feedback as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I see a couple people commenting about iron and manganese combo being fire. So is that the first? Would you say the first one, the product that you launched, was it the iron that you said?
The first product I launched was just the iron,
Okay.
and then I added the manganese, mostly because my experience with it and the two products together and how well they work, and they really make that dark blue green.
Yeah.
It just looks really good.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely I think that's one of my favorite things that you guys offer is the main event with the iron, the manganese, and the molasses. And prior to seeing that last year, I think it was PJ from Girls Lawn that
Mm-hmm.
I found the molasses from, and then I think that's how I discovered you. It was her. So yeah, the molasses is crazy, especially in the summer. I think around this time, definitely boosting that color and that activity in the soil. Yep. Just gives you that green pop without the growth, which is great for summer.
Yeah, I just put. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just saying I just put down that main event a couple of days ago for the 4th. So I noticed it's probably about a week. It's pretty quick actually for the initial color pop. Then you get that really deep color around for that. So got that down, and I'm looking forward to see what it does for the 4th. I know it'll be dark green, so
the
good stuff.
The molasses is kind of funny because I happened to be walking through Bill's warehouse, and I saw some bags of molasses. I don't know if he remembers it the same way. And I said, "Is that soluble molasses?" And because I'd been using, like a lot of people have been using, is that molasses from TSC, where you it's made for deer, but you got to like have hot water and you got to mix it up and get it to like really go into solution. He said, "Yeah, I've been searching for this for a long time," and he says he goes, "You could use regular tap water, it dissolves." I said, "Can you bag some of that up for me, like 3-pound bags?" And he's like, "You want me to bag up molasses?" I was like, "Yeah," and so he did it. And I'm sure he thinks I'm still crazy. I'm always asking him all sorts of stuff. And so we backed it up and started using it. I put it on my lawn. Like I came home like with some samples. I mixed it up with just regular like water right out of the hose. And it dissolved easily. I was like, "Oh, this is so much easier than the other stuff." And I got that color pop. And then, PJ with Girls Lawn used it, and she posted a video on it. And I'll never forget the one where it was like her gate and she forgot to spray, and then the color difference between the two. It was amazing difference. Yeah. So, so then I was like, I'm adding molasses to the website for sure. And it's been like one of my regular apps I just do all the time because it's easy. It's good for the soil. There are, like, I see a lot of comments, and I choose not to respond to a lot of them, but there's people that will say like they could get the 50-pound bags of molasses from the feed store Well, that's molasses that's sprayed on usually like some type of grain husk. And
Yeah.
it doesn't fully dissolve, and you're going to clog up your sprayer with it. So it is a little bit different than the stuff that you get from the feed store. It's
And
100%
what's the
soluble.
difference? Yeah, what's the difference? I guess that'd be a good, like, what's the difference between the stuff? I've seen a lot of people use the stuff for, they buy it at the farm store, like for deer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a big difference between that and like the blackstrap molasses that you guys offer, like that
I would
dissolves?
say it's
Or
essentially the same, but just ours is easier, a little bit easier to mix. Um,
okay, okay,
but when you get the molasses that's sprayed on like the grain husks that are made for like cattle to consume, that's a little bit different because those grain husks aren't going to dissolve, and they'll end up clogging up your sprayer.
yeah, yeah. And I would say I was kind of hesitant at first because I'd never used soluble products prior to that, and I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of nervous putting that in my sprayer, but I didn't have any issues. I mean, it mixed right up and dissolved. You know, when I mixed it up with the agitator thing on the end of my drill.
Yep.
So it looks like Bill, is your mic working now? Can you hear us? Uh, guess not. So I guess another question I would have for you is what's with since we can't get Bill on here, I was going to have him say that, but can you speak a little to Bill's background and what Quest is and what they do outside of no coast?
Yeah, I could do my best. I don't know how long they've been around, but it's been for a while. And Bill and Quest primarily sells to like golf courses and orchards and large scales. They also kind of distribute to like the Reiners. It looks like reindeers, but I think it's pronounced like Reiners. And which goes out to a lot of lawn care companies and bulk. He is also not only the owner of Quest, but he's invented or created most of these products himself. He's super knowledgeable. I hope he's able to join because he can answer a lot of questions. Like
Yeah.
if there's any questions I don't know, I reach out to him and get the answers on. He's been around for a while. He knows his stuff, and has got a good reputation in the industry.
Okay.
I'm
Awesome.
gonna see if I can pull up some history on Quest to from their website to see if perhaps I could get like when he started. And he also seems to know like everyone in the industry as well. So it's a good partnership to have.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the fact that he's right down the road from you, it's a kind of worked out great for you as far as setting this up. So here's a question for you. I guess is there any difference in results? Have you noticed any difference from people that have used this on different grass types or cultivars of grass types in relation to like that kind of stuff?
There has what works both in warm and cool season grasses, depending on how what's the word I'm looking for? Like if you are starving, if the lawn is starving for like some of the products like iron, if it's starving for iron, you might not get such a big color pop right away because it's like pulling up so fast. So you might see some people that have to lay it down a little bit heavier, and there's some people that lay it down like at a half rate and get a great color pop. It just kind of depends on soil pH and what your lawn's actually needing at the time. So if one of the things, it's my very first question I ask anybody when they're asking for advice is, have you had a soil test? And then we can go from there. Because depending on your soil, I deal with high pH. The water that I irrigate my lawn with is high in pH, so it's quite the battle. I've been putting products on citric acid, ammonium sulfate to try to lower my pH, but every time it fails to rain, which seems to be often this year, I'm irrigating, and then it's a kind of a battle. So with like the further uptake that you get from some of these spray on products, you could kind of, it's not a long-term solution, but you get that green pop that you want until you could figure out how to lower your pH.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I will say, like, I've been working on. I struggle with high pH too, and last summer was when I first started hitting that really hard. So I definitely noticed a difference over the course of the summer when I put it down, the molasses and iron and stuff. And that obviously makes sense with what you were saying.
And the
Correct.
molasses can also, it works in a way that can kind of free up some of those minerals that are bound into the soil. So not only does it increase the microbial activity, it increases nutrient uptake, or it can increase nutrient uptake as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I could send you a link. I don't know if you've seen the nutrient like availability chart based on pH. I don't know if you've ever peeked at that, but that's a good way to look and see if you have a pH. It's like, I'm looking over on my other screen, like 7 and up. You're not getting much iron from your soil. You need to get it on the grass blades and have it brought up that way.
It might let you share it if you have it on another screen. If you try to share, that gives you that option.
Send you the link as well. I don't see an option to share.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, maybe.
Pull it up here.
But it's that's an eye chart there. Yeah, if you kind of zoom in, but you can kind of look like based at the bottom, you're going to see like the pH scale from 4 to 10. It's kind of getting cut off, but 7's kind of right in the middle there, and you can see like at a 7 pH, you're doing pretty good. You're picking up a lot of that stuff. But if you have a high pH, you're not getting any iron, and you're getting a slight manganese. Like if you're above that 7.5. And some of those other micronutrients. So that means it's kind of getting bound up in the soil, and it's not the grass isn't getting all the nutrients that it should. And you might even see a lot of those people out there that they're dumping Milorganite all over their lawn. You can always tell that in a soil test, and you can see a lot of times that they might have a lot of iron that's in the soil, but it's not getting used because their pH is too high.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a lot of I've definitely seen that with people in even in relation to like local people that ask me questions and do soil tests. A lot of people will be like, "Yeah, just dumped on whatever I had laying around," kind of thing, and it's like, kind of throwing stuff on that it's not really going to do them much good given how their soil is and what's going on. So
and like the other thing to kind of point out is other iron product. Like one of the first ones I started with was ironite, which I feel like probably a lot of people have. It's easy to get at those big box stores, and it's one type of iron. I think it's ferrous sulfate. That's going to green up quick, but it's going to go away really fast. Whereas something like the main event iron has got multiple different chelated methods. Some are going to green up quick, some are going to take a little bit longer to green up, and then some are going to take even longer to green up. But it gives you that 4 to 6 week range of green up, where like an ironite is something that would like green up really fast and go away really fast. And to answer some of the questions, I think I see Jeremy answered that I started a long time ago and I digressed away from, was like different cultivars. There are different cultivars that do get greener than others. I would recommend just doing your research on them. But yeah, like you have like a K31, it's going to get green, but not as much as something like if you have a different fescue blend or like a bluegrass blend as well.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And I like that about your website. So while I get the screen sharing up, we can just do that. So I guess I do like the just like in your products here, even with your like dry iron. I mean, you're throwing other things in there too. I know you got nitrogen, manganese, 10% iron, and you got other things as well. Because I know I've used some other products that were just kind of straight iron, or they might have a little bit of nitrogen in them. But nice that you give kind of those other nutrients in there as well for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I wish Bill was on. There is a magical combination of iron and manganese that you need to get that blue green up, or even that darker green. And he knows what that is, and he has told me, and I don't know if it's like a trade secret or not. But there is like a combination that you need so much percentage of manganese as you do like the iron to really get that green up as well.
Well, it's probably the rate that you put on the bags, because it works great for me. So.
Yeah.
Definitely that you get that definite blue green, and I've noticed that blue green as compared to just using like a straight iron product.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of the iron will mix the manganese in that I've used personally, but there's some out there that's just like the chelated iron, and you'll get the green, but then you won't get that bluish green, I guess, that you're looking for.
And something to do with like utilizing the iron as well. Like if you have that manganese, it'll use the iron a little bit better as well.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Jeremy asked a question, like RX soil test gave me high iron level. Do you have high pH as well? Just out of curiosity. Let's see if he answers. If not, and then Princess Cut, difference between main event and feature. They are really close. Feature has AMS, ammonium sulfate, versus urea is going to be the main difference. So higher pH. Feature will be a little bit better, and then lower pH or just normal pH. Main event. They're both good products. Also, before I'll preface that. But the feature has the AMS, and it's going to be better for a higher pH soil.
Okay. And his pH looks like a low 7.
So low 7. That's probably so. A lot of iron's going to hang out in the soil because of the 7-ish pH. So you will. That soil is going to hold on to the iron a little bit better. So you would probably benefit from some foliar uptake, and then also work on probably lowering the pH a little bit if you can. Which is a hard battle.
Yes, it sucks. PJ says details on the soil fusion. I know I do have the soil fusion. I haven't put it down yet, but it definitely looks like a interesting product. If you want to talk about,
so soil fusion. Let me grab it. See if it show up or not. I got this little background thing on. So soil fusion is actually another Bill invention. I actually noticed that he had it, and I asked him if I could sell it, and he said sure. But it is a product that is. I wanted something with seaweed in it, just something again for the soil. And he brought out this product. As far as I know, it was new this year, and I asked if I could add it to my website, and he said sure. And you get some really good benefits out of it for the soil. It's got a little bit of humic acid, it's got a little bit of the molasses in it, and it's got the seaweed in it, and it's just a soil product.
Okay.
I've used it a couple times this year. I love it. I love the smell of it. It's got a weird funky smell to it, and everybody likes that about lawn products. But it definitely, I always say it smells like the beach. My wife kind of thinks I'm crazy, but that's what I smell when I apply it. Yeah.
Interesting. I do like the smell of the molasses going down. That stuff smells great. Sit there and take a whiff. It looks like Bill said on our private chat that feature does not have the chelation that main event has.
Yeah. I think they both have they're chelated, but Bill and correct me if I'm wrong, Bill, but the main event has a little bit more additional chelated different types of iron. So it could spread out a little bit further as far as the green up.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying that soil fusion. I just got so much stuff here to put down.
I know you kind of run out of time.
Run out of time and places to use it, but yeah, I was reading about it, and it was definitely looks like a great product. So I'm looking forward to that. And it comes in the mix it up just like all the other stuff and dilute it in the water. I think that's the biggest thing that I have liked about your stuff is it's easy to store, and you don't have to worry about it like some of that stuff will separate or clump up if you keep it over time. And this stuff, it's like if I gotta keep some over the next season, it's just dry in a bag and it's gonna store nice in my garage. So it's which probably saves you a lot on shipping too when you ship stuff. It doesn't weigh.
Yeah, like my goal when I started was with the dry products is I didn't want to charge people to ship water, right? So you have water at home that you can mix with.
Yeah.
But it also is kind of limiting. There's a lot of people that don't have backpack sprayers. So I've actually been working on a couple liquid products to get out that people could put into hose end sprayers, and we'll also have some hose end bottle fertilizers coming out here soon as well. We're working on a couple different products. One is it's a similar product that Bill's been offering for a while. And it's similar to some other products out there. It's a 1200 with 6% iron, 2% manganese, and we'll have some molasses in it. So it'll be good for the soil, also good for the green up as well. Just kind of a funny story.
Yeah.
When I started searching for hose end sprayers, bottles, and the actual hose ends last year.
Yeah.
And it's been quite the quite the task. It like you start at like a certain level and like you got to order like 100,000. It's like, well, I don't need 100,000 of them. And then like you get down to it and there's like ratios, right? They're like, what's the viscosity of your liquid? I'm like, well, I don't know. I said, I'm still working on it. So funny story, like probably about 6 weeks ago, I'm testing the new 1200 product, maybe 2 months ago. Actually, I'm testing the original one. I put it in the hose end sprayer, like a 32-ounce bottle hose end sprayer, and I go to spray, and it's just too thick. It had some humic in it, had some other things, and I couldn't get it out. And so I was like, all right, Bill, we need to change some things up. And he's like, okay. His patience with me, by the way, is amazing. And so I was like, we need to change it up a little bit. And so I was like, let's simplify it to do the 1200, which is molasses only, no humic, and go from there. He's like, okay. And then he mixes me up a couple batches. I go to put it out on my lawn. I put in the hose and sprayer, and I'm spraying about a 3,000 foot section. This is kind of my test section.
Yeah.
And I turn it on and I start spraying. And I look down, and I'm like a quarter of the way through the bottle. It is flying out of there. So, and I'm looking at like a 20 to 1 ratio hose and sprayer, and I'm going as fast as I can. I was planning on putting like 15 ounces out on this 3,000 square feet, and put 32 ounces out. And I got one heck of a green up.
I bet.
That's what I called Bill and I said, here, good news is it went through the sprayer. I was like, bad news is it went through really fast. And he kind of laughed at me. He said, it's going to get green. I was like, yeah, it did get green.
And it looks like he also, so we got Bill on the chat because his audio and video won't work, unfortunately, but he did say the dry products have more total chelating power than you can suspend in the liquid products. Keep them shelf stable as well. So that's interesting for sure. I guess how do you guys get the products into that granular form? Is that like a process that he takes care of, or how does that process work?
Yeah. I'll let him answer that. I have an idea. He's never really told me, like I just show up and buy it. Get it from him, back my truck up and load up and go from there. But I knew that they do some blending. I'm not sure how exactly what they do. I should try to video it sometime, and if that's allowed, I don't know, and share it with everyone. But it's really cool going in there and seeing some stuff going on.
Yeah, I don't imagine that would be something that might be a trade secret for him, but that's definitely a cool. I've always wondered how they get stuff like that into the granule form, but there's obviously a way to do that. Looks like we got another question here. Custom soluble blend. I'll let you speak to that one.
Let's see. I'm sure anything's possible. That'd be more like Bill is the manufacturer, so that'd be more of a question for him.
Okay.
So, Bill, if you could hear, they're asking if we can make a custom soluble blend that they could sell on their website. Yeah, Girls On just posted like something about fast shipping, and that was one of my goals. Like, number one is customer service, be
Yeah.
able to answer questions, not sell products that are kind of like snake oil that don't work, and then fast shipping, because at this point, everyone that's selling online's competing with Amazon,
Yeah.
and people expect that kind of next day shipping or same day shipping, which most of us are never going to get there.
Yeah.
I have an advantage out of being in the Midwest. I'm in the Kansas City area, so I'm kind of central to everyone.
Yeah. That's nice.
We do ship everything, 99% of things USPS priority. So it'll get there in 3 business days, or I call it USPS days, minus a Sunday.
Yeah.
So we try to get it there fast. And if you're even closer to the Kansas City area, it usually shows up in 2 days.
Yeah. Most of the stuff that I get's like 2 days, so it comes really quick.
Yeah. So if we get orders, so we typically have um, orders in the morning, overnight, morning. They'll go out by 11 noon when the USPS stops by and picks things up from the shop. And then if there's products that come in, or if there's orders that come in between that pickup and say 4 o'clock, we will drive down to the post office and actually drop them off as well. So they try to go out that same day.
Yeah.
So it's the stuff after like 4 o'clock Central, after the post office closes in the small town that we're in, and it goes out the next day.
Yeah, that's a good benefit of being in a small town, because I'm in a small town too, and the post office is actually, you can access them and they're actually friendly.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to a huge post office that's a
Yeah.
nightmare to deal with.
Yeah. The post office actually in our town closes at 1:15 every day. So I got to drive one
Really?
town over
Jeez.
that closes at 4 o'clock instead.
I wish I had those hours. That'd be nice.
So,
Yeah, and as far as the custom blends, Bill said yes, he can do that. So I guess you guys can hook up, or you can get him your info. But
mhm.
yeah, and you can get a hold of you at the nocoasturf.com. Do you answer the messages?
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much me. My wife helps out when I'm busy or out of town for work or something.
Yeah.
She helps out, and sometimes I have the little kiddos pack the orders as well. Send it anyways. But I just wrote him a note saying, "Hey, my daughter is helping me pack this," and he actually reached out to me via Instagram and said it took him for a little bit of a loop because his daughter's name was Olivia also. So like when he opened the box and saw like a handwritten Olivia, it was pretty neat. I think. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite stories so far.
Yeah, and that's cool though. The small type service, because you don't get that from those
Yeah.
like big companies, and you get the nice little. I remember, I forgot about that. You do write notes on there. And that's a nice little touch. You got the note and the sticker that comes out there, and
Yeah, stickers with every order, and it's not 100%. If I'm crazy busy, I don't always get it, but if I have time, I'm going to write a thanks on there at least.
yeah, that's awesome. So here's another question. Could you explain the molasses? So, like you said earlier, I mean, the molasses is going to go down and basically enhance that microbial activity in your soil.
Yep,
And
exactly.
I've actually noticed too, like with the molasses, I know I use the Turf Titan products, and I know that their Thatch Buster and their Root Booster is full of microbes.
Mhm.
I've noticed, I haven't paired them together yet, but I usually put that down like every 4 weeks. I've noticed, like I put the molasses down for the first time a couple days ago for the fourth. It almost seemed like almost a quicker green up. I don't know if it's just because I throw those microbes down all the time, but it's basically just feeding that stuff. It's kind of interesting. I've been taking like daily pictures to compare them. So definitely a couple days out. I mean, it was a really quick green up this time. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next several days with that.
Yeah, so it's more for the soil
Yeah.
than it is, but when you benefit the soil, you benefit the grass. And it does have some dethatching properties to it. It increases microbial activity, increases nutrient uptake. And then I think you also said, and the iron is, Bill could probably speak to it better than I can. I'm more of a nerdy lawn guy that's selling these products on no coast turf. But it to me, iron serves as, I know it increases chlorophyll, I believe. Hopefully, I'm not wrong on that. But then that then increases your dark green, and so you get a lot of green up from the iron.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, for sure. Great soil makes great grass.
Yep,
Definitely. So, and
starts there.
Bill says molasses increases the soil biology. Molasses precipitates the nitrogen releasing soil fauna microbes to immediately release available nitrogen. So basically kind of gives it a jump start, I think, from that perspective.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know when I first saw people using molasses, I was like, what in the world is going on here? But it's definitely a good color booster for sure without pushing the growth. That's why I like to use it in the summer, just because you can get that green without throwing a bunch of stuff on it and having to try to mow all the time or burn it with nitrogen
Yep.
and stuff. So yeah, I think PJ asked something. Any new products? Well, you kind of spoke about the liquid products.
Yeah, we got a couple liquids. The one I'm focusing on kind of immediately is the 1200, and that's because it's something that Bill's been doing, Quest has been doing for a long time. And adding my kind of twist to it, which is adding the molasses to it, because I want it to be good both for the turf, the grass, and also the dirt as well.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna get that ironed out, and hopefully have it out in the next week or two. It'll go into like your orthos, and then eventually we'll have the hose end sprayers, once I can figure out the proper ratio that I need and viscosity.
Yeah, that's a lot more involved than just getting um, like buying hose ends and getting it because you got to get the ratios out and everything. But
Yeah, it's been wild trying to figure it out. And then, so I started this last year. So we're going on about a year of me trying to procure these. And it started like last year. And I finally got a hold of a good distributor that was willing to work with me, send me some samples. And I estimated what my viscosity was. And actually, like a couple of weeks ago, I got a, a tool to measure the viscosity. I'm trying to come up with it, and I'm trying to mix in like extra molasses to try to increase that viscosity, um, and try to figure out where I need to be to work in this 20 to 1 ratio that I'm looking for. And I think I'm just gonna have to order some different hose end sprayers, which have like a lead time of 6 to 8 weeks. So it'll be more of a next year product probably for the hose ends, but we'll get the gallons out, and the 2.5 gallons out this year for sure. And that will be kind of geared towards the orthos or still the backpack sprayers as well. And then hopefully get the hose ends come spring next year.
yeah, that's awesome. And I definitely agree. Like I said earlier on the shelf life, I mean, it's easy to store. And I've had liquid products that are obviously they take up more space, but they also, you got to make sure you use them, and make sure they don't freeze if they're in a shed or something like that. But that's a nice feature that you guys got going on.
And of course, PJ, I think probably everyone on here follows her as well. She got those awesome containers from Amazon that even makes it better to kind of store those things in. It's like a kind of a Rubbermaid container. That I ended up with as well.
Yeah, those are PJ's full of great ideas for sure. Also, I have I know you sent me that sample, that high carbon humic.
Yep.
I haven't used that yet, but that's definitely an interesting looking product as well.
That's newer. So and then yeah, so Bill kind of in the like private chat that we could read, he points out that Quest makes over 120 different products for like turf agriculture, arboriculture, lawn care, fruits, vegetables, citrus, almonds, pecans, tomatoes, like all sorts of stuff. and says it's on over 8,000 golf courses, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yep.
And I don't know, Bill, if you want to mention how long you've been around, but I got a couple other of his products that I don't even have on my website yet that I want to get on there. I'm looking down at them because I sent them all next to me. One of them is this stuff called Fresh Cut, which is really cool. I spray every time I put out like any type of pesticide that kind of has a stinky smell to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just a product that you add like just a small amount to, and it masks that smell.
Really?
And so he's got one product called Fresh Cut, and it just has like a kind of a fresh cut grass clean smell to it that you could add to any of your applications to kind of mask any smell you might be putting down. So we have an asphalt driveway, and then we have one like kind of gravel driveway, like personally. And I'm always spraying that gravel for weeds that just constantly come up.
Yeah.
And it's like a grass and like year-long grass and weed killer that I put down, and it stinks. And I always add this Fresh Cut to it, and that's something we're going to be adding to the website shortly as well.
Interesting.
And it kind of masks that herbicide smell.
Yeah, some of them are pretty potent for sure. Well, and even some of the fungicides and stuff that pretty potent smelling. So there's another question about the high carbon.
Let's see.
How beneficial high carbon be on sandy loam soil?
So, Bill, the question is, if you could answer, how beneficial would high carbon be on sandy loam soil?
Anything to mask the smell of Speed Zone.
Man, Speed Zone's not even that bad. There's way worse.
Oh yeah. Purchase this product because of PJ. I've been using your product for 2 years. Lawn looks great. Yeah, I love to use this stuff, especially in the summertime. Like I said, it's easy to use, and it even on top of. I'll put it down. I also like how you can mix how much you want to put down. I know you got your rates on there, but if you want to go more or less, and you can kind of play with that based on what type of fertilizers you're putting down. It's just so easy and to put everything down. And
my kind of favorite combo right now, which it changes often, but like if I'm getting ready for 4th of July or Memorial Day or like company events. Company mean like family. I'm mixing kind of like the 2 ounces of manganese per 1,000, 2 ounces of iron. I add in the 6 ounces of the molasses, and now I've added the soil fusion into that as well. And put that down for a good green pop for when people come over.
That's an interesting.
And I don't know if anyone's as crazy as I am. Like, depending on what time, my wife actually says it's going to be a 4 o'clock party. I change the direction of my stripes to make sure that they're popping when people pull up.
That's next level right there for sure.
Because depending on where the sun is, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And so, so I will change the angle of my stripes to make sure we're showing off when people show up.
I think everybody in this chat can probably appreciate that level of detail, and probably does the same thing. So. For sure. But yeah, that's an interesting combo. I might have to try that because I have all that stuff in my garage, so that might be
you put those down together, you're gonna get some dark green lawn.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I just sprayed it like it was 2 days ago. It was Saturday night I did it, so I might go out there and put that down tomorrow, that soil fusion that I have. Get it on there a couple of days after the fact and see what happens. It's already greening up, so might be a good time to use it. So we'll see. Might have to do that. Take some pictures. But
it's funny to see the amount of comments that people want to cover up that smell. So I better get that stuff on the website quick.
Yeah, some of those definitely like the kelp and all those. Those are pretty potent, sure. But yeah, so what it smells like. It smells like grass, fresh cut grass.
Well, yeah, the product is called Fresh Cut, and it just has a good clean smell to it. And I talked to Bill the other day. I kind of always like the smell like cedar, and I think it's possible that we might have a cedar masking smell coming out soon as well.
Huh.
So yeah, we'll have
Yeah,
a couple different options there.
awesome. PJ said, "Is your stuff considered organic?" I think somebody's asked me that before too.
All to me it is. I'll let Bill answer that as well. Like Bill, is our products considered organic? To me, there's nothing
Yeah, I don't.
manufactured that's in there. So
Yeah, I don't.
I think there's probably some type of official rule that that you would need. Like I'm sure, like if you have like a organic beef or whatever, there's so many different qualifications you have to make that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's the same. But hopefully Bill can chime in on that.
Yeah, I don't think, at least from my perspective, from what I've seen on your labels, it's all naturally occurring minerals and stuff like
Yep.
that, and molasses and stuff.
Yep.
So basically, you just don't pay a fortune to get an organic label.
Yep.
That's
So Bill says fresh cut smells like fresh cut grass, and it'll mask organic odors, pesticides, but it will not mask like petroleum, gas, or diesel.
huh. That's really interesting, for sure. Yeah, that, like PJ said, that OMRI certification is very expensive, because I even know Turf Titan, when I use their stuff, they don't pay for that either. But their stuff is, you would consider it organic. It's
Yeah.
just that the label,
You're
which
just not
some
gonna,
people like.
you're not going to pay for it. Yeah.
But yeah, it all comes down to what you're going to pay for it. But yeah, interesting stuff. I'm really looking forward to when you release that liquid stuff. So we'll see how that
Yeah.
works. I like the yeah. Bill says organic is a relative term. Yeah, I would. I look at it as stuff like this. I would consider organic. The only thing that I put down that's not really organic would be like the herbicides and the fungicides,
Yeah.
pesticides, stuff like that. But it is what it is. You're never going to be all organic
No.
ever. So as long as the grass is green and everything's good,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. So yeah, and for everybody that's commenting, I think some of you joined in late. I mean, everybody's active in the chat. I know that Joey said he's going to give away some stuff here towards the end. So when we get to that point,
Yeah.
if anybody has any other questions, drop them in now. I don't want to string it out too far, but no, I really appreciate you guys hopping on here. It's would have been cool to have Bill on here, but hey, it is what it is. Technical difficulties always, you can't control the computers. So he says organic is really how close to carbon is the product ingredients.
Let's see if we could get some elaboration on that.
Yeah, I was like, but yeah, I might have to try that fresh cut too when you launch that on your website. We'll give that a shot. I don't spray a whole lot of herbicides or anything, but some of the fungicides and stuff like that are, the fungus has been crazy in this area. Like since we've hit, the heat went up and then the humidity showed up. Now it's raining. So we'll see what happens going forward. But I finally thought I was over the hump, and now it's to the point where I'm going to be back in for a battle, I think.
Yeah. So I'd say let's give some stuff away.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got everybody. If you're on here and you haven't dropped anything in the chat, I'll just enter everybody who's in the chat. And you just want them to contact you, like through Instagram or whatever, or send your email through your website for the giveaways. Is that how you want to do it, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, either message you or like hit me up on Instagram. I think most people are probably on there, and we'll get them sent out as soon as possible.
Okay.
So I think we were gonna do hat of choice, shirt of choice, a bag of iron, and a bag of molasses. 4 separate drawings.
Let me make sure I have everybody here.
So I'll answer Jeff. How often can you apply the iron? It's every 4 to 6 weeks. And then when your grass is actively growing, so if it's in a dormant state, then you don't want to do it at that point. You'll be wasting your money. And while Justin gets that up, question for people out there: Do other people have an issue with judging every piece of grass that you see on TV shows, movies, sporting events? If you're traveling,
looking at
like,
all the
it's
neighborhood
like a
lawns.
problem. Yeah, you go up to like someone like one of the kids' birthday parties, and you're looking at the lawn, and you're like, oh, look at that crabgrass.
I would say probably everybody in here. I'm familiar with a lot of the names. Would probably agree with that for sure. That's the crowd we're with right now. So, because you go into a lot of other people and it's like they look at you crazy. All right, I think
like Bill might want to give away some more stuff as well. So let's figure out what else he wants to give away. And Bill has mentioned the round patch and Pythium is very active right now. One's experiencing that. There's another product that Bill has, Reliant Fungicide, and we just added that to the website not long ago, earlier this year. That is known for fighting Pythium, and I would lean on him to tell me exactly how it works. He has given me all the literature. I have not memorized it yet on how it works, but it basically helps something happen in the grass. I'll let him speak to it, but fight off the Pythium a little bit better.
I think I'm just going through the names here.
That's a phosphite product.
Interesting. All right, I think I got everybody. So I guess we can start with those, and if he says anything else to want to give away, we can do that too. So let me get this up here. See if I can share this up.
If we don't hear back, I'm just going to volunteer up some extra stuff to give away. What do people want?
Yeah, I guess drop in the comments. So yeah, you said a hat of choice, shirt of choice, bag of molasses, a bag of iron. So
more molasses, soil fusion, the Humic, extra hat.
All right, so I guess we'll do this, and then we'll get this pulled up here. Whoops. All right, so we'll go shuffle them up. Got everybody in here. Let's give it a go. So I guess the first one you said had a choice first, so we'll just go with that.
Let's see. I'm gonna take note of these names as well.
Yeah, write them down. So if you want to message, like Joey said, message him either on Instagram or you can go to their website, nocoastturf.com,
or email me if you don't have any of that. It's nocoastturf@gmail.com.
Yep, email you or
go to the website.
Any of that work.
Yeah, go to the website. There's chat on there. There should be a contact us form on there as well.
Yep. So that was hat of choice off the website. Go check out what they got to offer, and we'll do that. So the next one, get back over here. Shirt of choice. I guess we'll do the shirt of choice here.
Oh,
PJ. Well, I think that's the first giveaway PJ's got on mine. Grass holes always judge the grass around. Good point. I mean, that goes with your shirt.
She's probably so. I'm wearing one of the new shirts that is like Father of Grasses. If there's,
she said she was looking forward to that.
Yeah, there's Mother of Grasses. If anybody's a Game of Thrones nerd out there.
Well, that worked perfect. Yeah, awesome. Well, there you go, PJ. Congrats. All right, let's do the bag of molasses next. Well, there you go, man. You were talking about the molasses in the comments, so that worked out perfectly. I guess the wheel picker knew what you wanted. So there's a bag of molasses, a bag of iron next. So we'll spin for the bag of iron. So that'll be Harper Explores. Congrats on the bag of iron. And what'd you say? You wanted to do something else, or what'd you say?
So yeah, who got the iron? Let's see, Harper. Let me write that down really fast. Harper Explores.
Harper Explores.
And Bill did text me. So let's do more iron, more manganese. So
Okay.
what do we got? How many people do we got in there?
We still got pretty good names.
Let's do 3 irons, 3 manganese. I better write these down as well. Let's try to get everyone something if we can. I don't know if we can do that, but we'll try. Let's do 2 fresh cuts. So
Yeah, I'll just
3 more irons, 3 more manganese.
Okay. I'll just keep spinning. You write down what you want to give away. So.
All right.
Whatever. We'll spin another one.
Let's do 3 irons. So Jennifer Gates.
So we got Jennifer Gates.
Let's do another iron.
All right. Nick Landmaster.
Let's do 1 more iron.
All right.
We'll get some people taken care of.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
On in order.
Congrats, man.
And then let's do 3 more spins for some manganese.
All right.
Let's get that blue-green.
Yeah. Awesome color.
And Bill just keeps sending me stuff, so thank you, Bill.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Crazy About Grass, you get a bag of manganese. Let's do another manganese. The list is getting shorter. Princess.
George. Princess Cut Lawn. Congrats, man.
All right. Another manganese.
All right.
You can tell me when you're getting bored, Justin.
What'd you say?
So you can tell me when you're getting bored of spinning the wheel.
No, I'm not getting bored. That's awesome.
Let's
You
do
guys giving away some stuff.
Let's do 2 of the fresh cuts. So
All
the
right.
masking agent.
Yeah.
And don't forget, people, I need you to reach out to me to make sure I could get it to you, okay?
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely reach out to him.
Let's do another fresh cut.
All right, you ready for the next?
Yep.
All right. Yay. Congrats.
And then, Bill, so there's another product that I don't have on the website yet. that I need to get on there. It's called dual carbon, and it is a mix of molasses and humic together. And he said give away several bags of that. So let's do. How many people are left? 6.
Yeah, 5. Yep.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just do this. Let's just give them all a bag of the dual carbon. Who's left?
Wow, seriously.
That way everyone gets
That's
something.
awesome. That's awesome. Awesome.
So I'm
I
gonna
don't think I've ever seen that before. That's awesome. That's really awesome, guys.
So thanks to Bill as well.
They're awesome.
So I'm gonna write these names down so that way you don't have to spin anymore. So we got Nick. So whoever's left on that will reach out to me for the dual carbon. And I'll try to reach out to you if you don't reach out to me.
Yeah, and if you have trouble getting a hold of somebody, I recognize most of these names, but most people will reach out to you. Like, as long as they're still here.
I have one giveaway that I've done, and the person did not reach out to me, and I still feel really bad about it. And I've tried to find them, and I can't. Let's see. I'm gonna have to turn.
What did you say the email was again? So they can somebody ask for the email.
Yeah, nocoastturf@gmail.com.
There you go.
Does that say garage gear? Okay.
Yeah, garage gear.
I'm gonna have to turn my head sideways. And Green
JV.
M.
Green M.
And Jeff Bodine. All right, everyone's getting some dual carbon.
That's very generous of you. That's amazing, man. That's awesome. And I'm sure everybody enjoy those No Coast Turf products. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. I absolutely love them, and I'll be looking forward to seeing the new stuff when it comes out. And that's awesome. You guys giving away stuff that's not even on the website yet. So kudos to you guys getting to try some new stuff out before it's even available. Yeah, awesome. Well, that's awesome live, and I really appreciate you coming on here, and appreciate Bill. Bill was here on the private chat that we could see. It would have been awesome to get him on here because he sounds really knowledgeable about everything. So appreciate you, Bill, for at least being able to answer some questions through the chat feature, and hopefully the technical issues next time, if we ever do it again, we'll definitely not be there. So like I said, I appreciate it, Joey. I appreciate giving away some cool stuff and joining me and taking an hour of your time to join in and kind of talk about the company and everything.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it. Anytime. So yeah, go check them out on their website, nocoastturf.com, and check out what they have to offer. Some good stuff, and it sounds like some new stuff coming out soon. So looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yep. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.